Hello, thank you for joining us on this YouTube video. I decided to do this because we had a future national area kickoff on Saturday, and I know it was a holiday weekend and it turned out to be crazy weather, and some of you were not able to meet with us there. But I just really wanted to share my vision for our national area with everyone in my unit and then also in all of our offspring units. So thank you for tuning in to this, and I pray that you will get some excitement over this vision, that you will buy into our vision and realize what a very important part you play in this vision of a future national area. You know, I've loved my Mary Kay journey, and I'm hoping that you love yours as well, but I've just felt, especially over these last 2 or 3 years, that national is really the vision that we're supposed to be going for. And you know, it's a goal and it's a vision that I cannot do by myself. I have to have you to help us. And whether you want to have a large part in this national area or a small part is completely okay. I just want you to know that up front. You are an important piece. It's kind of like a beautiful puzzle piece, and every single piece, if there's one single piece missing, the puzzle is not complete. So you are very important. You're an essential piece of this national puzzle, and I just want to thank you in advance for all that you're going to do as we reach and strive for this goal. I have a very audacious goal, and as I was praying about this, I felt like God was leading me constantly over and over to the book of Joshua, because when I think about this national goal and I think about the timeline that I believe that we're called to, it's kind of a scary thought. And I just was praying about it, and I kept thinking about Joshua. And for those of you that know the story of Joshua in Scripture, Joshua was called by the Lord to carry the Israelites into the promised land after Moses' death. And he was nervous, and he was afraid, and he was scared, just like we feel and just like I feel as your leader, and we're moving into this new phase. And so I just want to read a couple of things to you from Joshua 1. Verse 5, it says, just like I was with Moses, I will be with you. I will not fail you, and I will not forsake you. Be strong and courageous, for you shall give the people possession of the land which I swore to the fathers to give them. Only be strong and very courageous. Be careful to do according to the law from Moses my servant commanded you. Do not turn from it to the right or to the left, so that you may have success wherever you go. This book of the law, and I believe that it's Scripture, and it's for us as we build our national area, as well as it was for everybody. But do not let it depart from your mouth. Meditate on it day and night, so that you'll be careful to do what's written in it. And then verse 9 says, have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. So even though this is a huge, crazy, scary goal, and it's one that is absolutely impossible without God, I believe that we're supposed to be strong and courageous. So I'm going to just ask you right now to set aside your fear, to think about what might happen in your business if you were not afraid, and then to have the audacious faith to go after it and to work on that goal. I wanted to share a few things also from this book, Sun Stand Still, and it's by Stephen Furtick. And this book was referred to me by several different people over the course of the last couple of years. I've read through it at least twice on my own, and it's a great book. It's a book of faith. It's also based on Joshua, and it's actually based out of Joshua 10, and it's when you know, Joshua, the Lord was leading the Israelites into the promised land, but just like I feel like He's leading us towards our national goal, it's not like He says, okay, don't worry, you're just going to be a national, and that we just sit back and do nothing. The Israelites had to fight their way into the promised land, but God was with them every step of the way, just like I believe He'll be with us as we reach our goals too. And they were fighting this group, and they were running, they felt like they were running out of time. And so Joshua prayed to God and said in chapter 10, verse 12 and 13, it says, Joshua spoke to the Lord in the day when the Lord delivered up the Amorites before the sons of Israel. And he said in the sight of Israel, O sun, stand still at Gibeon, and O moon, in the valley of Ajalon. So, verse 13, the sun stood still, and the moon stopped, until the nation avenged themselves of their enemies. And the sun stopped in the middle of the day, and did not hasten to go down for about a whole day. And verse 14 says, there was no day like that before it or after it, when the Lord listened to the voice of a man, for the Lord fought for Israel. And girls, I believe that God's going to help us fight. And this book encourage us to have audacious faith. So I wanted to share a few things about that to you. First of all, what is audacity? And I don't know if you can see this or not. I'll read it, but audacity is boldness or daring, especially for confident disregard for personal comfort or conventional thought. And you know, Hebrews 11:6 tells us that about faith, and about how faith is not let me read it exactly so that we have it, so that I have it exactly for you. But that we're supposed to have the faith not stand in hope, but we're supposed to actually stand in faith. And Hebrews 11:6 says, and without faith it is impossible to please him. For he who comes to God must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of those who seek him. And so we're supposed to act with audacious faith and come before God with just asking for what we want. So this book encourages us to do three things. It encourages us to believe God for the impossible, to ask him for the impossible, and then to act in audacious faith for his glory. You know, according to that verse in Joshua, he did not just give up the battle. He didn't say, well, Lord, you know, we don't have enough time, we're running out of time. He just asked God for what he needed. They needed more daylight, so he asked for that. So we're going to ask God every day for what we need, and we're going to go after this national vision. And even on May 31st, we're not going to say, oh, Lord, it's too late, we can't do it, we only have a month left. We're going to go after it all the way to the end of the year, because, girls, I believe that it's going to be so amazing to stand on that stage in July when we go to seminar, having finished the national goal in the 50th anniversary year of Mary Kay. How amazing that will be. I can hardly wait about that. A few other things I wanted to share with you. This book encourages us to have page 23 vision. And Stephen Furtick shares about reading a book and how on page 23 it said that we need to live with our eyes wide open for possibilities. We need to seize the vision that God has for us. We need to activate our faith, audacious faith that is, and we need to make our move. You know, I don't believe that God is just going to put it in our lap. He's going to expect us, as I mentioned a minute ago, to go after it with audacious faith. And I believe that even though we're going to be afraid at times, that according to Joshua 1:9, we have to just be strong and courageous and to just go after it anyway. So live with the vision of seizing the vision that God has for you and for us as a national area, activating our faith and believing that he can do it, and then making our move. If you're taking notes through this, and I don't know if you are or not, but if you'll take your piece of paper and you'll write on one side the word promise, and on the other side the word payoff. If you think about the promise, like for the Israelites, God had promised them the promised land. He had told them, I'm going to give it to you and to your fathers and to you. And then the payoff was actually them going into the promised land and living that. And I feel like for our vision, the promise is that, you know, God has called us to be a national area. I believe that with all of my heart. And the payoff will be actually being a national area and having a voice in our amazing company and being able to hold all of our own events and just being able to celebrate as a national area and have a bigger platform to influence and to share with women and to teach women and to be there to enrich their lives. That will be the payoff for us as a national area. But in between the two is something called a process. And the process is the steps that we need to get and to do to get to the payoff. As I said earlier, it's not just poof, it's going to happen. We have to go through the process. And unfortunately, the process is where the pain is. And so over these next 6 months, I'm going to just ask you to be with me and to endure the pain and to go after the things, even if you're scared, and to fight for it every step of the way. Okay, what exactly do we need to finish our national area? First of all, I just want to say thank you. We have 4 amazing offspring directors at this very moment. We have the amazing Mabel Hamlet Franklin and her Divas unit. We have Beth Perez and her Abundant Blessings unit. We have Diane Woolridge and her just Women of Powerful Faith and the way that they just live with belief. And then we have Lisa Workman and her Brave Hearts unit. And then we have the Guthrie unit. And so out of that, this is what we need. We need 12 first line directors. So Guthrie unit, you 200 women of excellence that you are, we need 12 of you to raise up over these next 6 months and become a unit. We also need 8 second lines. So if you're in Mabel, Lisa, Beth, or Diane's units, we need 8 of you to rise up and to become units as well. And so I have this big audacious goal of having 14 submit DIQ on March 1st. Wow. Is that an audacious step of faith, asking God for the impossible? Yes, it is. And I am not afraid to do it. I'm going to be strong and courageous. And I'm going to ask you to work with me to get to that step. Now, please hear my heart. I realize some of you listening to this or watching this short video are not, directorship is not your goal, and that's okay. You are still an essential piece, as I mentioned earlier, because we need all of you out there selling this amazing product. We as units have to make crazy, amazing things happen over these next 6 months. So we need production. We need every person selling in our units. We need every person sharing this amazing product. And maybe directorship is not your goal, but you're thinking, you know what, I know some women who might still would love a Mary Kay business. You know, that's okay. Bringing more women into our units, my unit or our offspring units, will help all of us to build stronger units and to get to where we need to be, because we also need some of our units in cars and driving those amazing cars. So I want to just share with you that, you know, whether your goal is to be one of these 20 or whether it's to be somewhere else, that's up to you. We need you, and I'm asking you to help us with this goal. So 12 first lines, 8 seconds, 14 people submitting DIQ. We currently have a great group of women. We have some women that are future directors, which means they already have 8 team members. We have a DIQ already working, Brett Redgate right down in Greensboro, already working on building her unit. So she will then be one of these 12 first line. We already have some red jackets and some senior consultants, and we have amazing consultants in all of our units. So we are already on the way. That process that I mentioned a minute ago is already happening. We just need to work it faster. Okay, what do I mean by that? Well, if we're going to finish up this national area in 6 months, girls, we've got to really, really pour on the steam. We've got to crank up the volume. We've got to get things happening now. I want to tell you a story. There's a gal down in a unit in Richmond who added 10 new team members in 48 hours. So I share that with you to say it doesn't have to take forever to get this job done. And this is what I want to ask you to do. If your goal is to be one of these 20 units, if that is your goal, then what I'm going to ask you to do is work your hardest to get 5 people on your team by the end of January. So you'll go from wherever you are now to adding 5 new people. If you're already a future director, then you'll add 5 more. You'll be ready to go into DIQ. If you're already a team leader with 5, you add 5 more, you'll already be set up to go into DIQ. If you're a consultant with 0 team members, 5 more will make you a team leader, and you'll be ready to step up to the next plate. Where are you going to find these 5 people? You know, there are lots of places. Some of you have those 5 women in your family or among your friends. And you know, don't prejudge. Be courageous. Be strong. Just offer them a chance to hear about this amazing opportunity. They can decide, she can decide whether it's something she want to go for or not. We just have to offer her the opportunity to see what it's all about. So that's what I'm asking you to do, to find 5 people to add to your team in the next month. And I believe that you can do it. And to sweeten the pot a little bit, you'll be watching your email because there'll be lots of great things going along the way, some extra prizes and extra recognition and extra things that's going to be in place for you when you meet that goal, including a very special dream weekend for our future national area. And it's for the women in my unit as well as the women in our offspring units. When you have 5 on your team leader, then you will be invited to a special dream weekend on the 1st and the 2nd of February. So claim your spot. Be there with us. We don't have a lot of spaces. We have actually 16 spaces. But that's going to be amazing because I just believe those 16 women will be part of these 14 that will be ready to go DIQ on March 1st. So it's going to be so exciting. Now, we also have some things in place for you. Oh, where did I put that paper? Some things in place to help you along the way. Anyway, I'll just share it with you. You don't need to see it. We have, first of all, our success meetings, and I want to encourage you to tap into our success meetings. If you're not local to me, we will find a meeting for you that's local to you because, girls, I'm going to tell you, I don't know any sales directors who became directors and did not attend a success meeting. We need that encouragement. We need that constant motivation. There are weeks, girls, that we're going to be strong and courageous and things are not going to happen the way we wanted it to. Oh well, that's part of life. And then we're going to have weeks that are powerful. And at those weeks, you need to be at that meeting so that you can encourage the other women that are there. So success meetings. We also have an amazing Pace Setters class that is coming up. And I want you to go to our UnitNet site. And if you've never before logged into our UnitNet site and you need help with that, you can email or call me with that. But the Pace Setters will begin very, very soon, so quickly jump on there. The link, the page on the very first page of our UnitNet is explaining it to you, but the link is not there yet, but it will be there in the next day or so. So you'll go to that link, you'll register for Pace Setters, and it will be an online Pace Setters. So you'll receive an email information with little activities to do, and then that will carry you for 2 or 3 days, and then you'll receive the next one. You will receive 2 emails per week to help to set the pace. You know how a runner, they say, I'm not a runner, but they say with runners that they're able to get into a pace, and once they're in their pace, they can keep running for long, long, long periods of time. Well, we're going to be running for 6 months straight, and so we need everyone to step up the pace. So please join our Pace Setters. Also available to you are coaching calls, and these are 15-minute, I guess we should call them accountability calls, to kind of help you to be accountable to yourself and to us as a future national area. And especially if your goal is to be one of these 20 here, we need you on those coaching calls. And I do some of them early in the morning, and I'll be doing some of them later at night, and we'll set up a time. And basically what happens is I call you, and for 15 minutes we talk about what's going on in your business, who you're working with, who you're booking, how many appointments you have on your books, how things are going. I help you tweak and fix the little things that may not be working quite right. It's not the time where we talk about the weather. We just really zero in on what's happening and what we need to, or what you need to get you the next step for your business. So I'm excited about that, and I want you as part of those coaching calls. Also, it's very important that you stay tapped in and read all of the emails that come out about our future national area, and read every Facebook. We have a special Facebook group, and if you're watching this video and you're not in that Facebook group with us, get on it, because it's a place where I'm going to be sending lots of crows and lots of recognition and lots of excitement about our national area and what's happening and who's moving up and what you're doing in it. And so we need you tapped in with that. Email, Facebook, pace setters, meetings, and coaching calls. 5 and very important things to help you reach the goal you need to help us reach the goal that we need. And I believe that God is going to help us make the sun stand still. We're going to ask for the audacious, impossible things. He's going to be with us there, encouraging us and leading us along the way. He's going to help us fight through the no's. I believe He's going to lead us to the women that we want and that He wants in our future national area. And when we stand on that stage in July as a national area, oh my goodness, we're going to be very careful to give Him the glory, because it will be His victory. I want to share with you the last thing, and that is 5 steps that we're going to use to make this happen. First step is we're going to have to activate our audacious faith. We're going to have to stand in faith, not standing in hope, but standing in faith. You know, James says that faith without works is dead. So we're going to stand and activate our audacious faith to go after this goal. We're going to approach God with boldness. We're going to pray for exactly what we need and what we want every day. And I'm committing to you that I'm going to be praying for you every day, and I'm asking you to pray for me. And it's going to be, I'm going to have a special time set aside every morning that I'm going to pray for our national area without ceasing, and that I'm just going to believe that God's going to make it happen for us. Number 3, I'm going to ask specifically what's humanly impossible. This is not a Denise thing. It's a God thing, and I believe that. And so I'm going to ask Him to give us things that I'm not going to mumble about it. I'm not going to hesitate. I'm going to ask Him to do it, because I believe that nothing is impossible for Him. Number 4, I'm going to advance toward our answer. You know what? We have to push while we pray. We have to move. We have to get into motion. We have to activate our audacious faith. We have to stand and we have to move into what we need, and to be willing to do the activity and to do the work. And then lastly, we're going to give Him the glory, because it is going to be, and I'm going to cannot wait to stand on the stage, and this will be our verse on that stage as a national area. Isaiah 25:1. O Lord, you are my God. I will exalt you and your name, for in perfect faithfulness you have done marvelous things. I'm so excited. I can hardly stand it. Will you partner with me? Will you be a part of this amazing vision towards our national area? And most of all, will you be strong and courageous? Can't wait to hear from you. Send me an email and let me know. I believe in you.